still ignoring me, or finally ready to listen. You keep scrolling. You keep distracting yourself. You keep telling yourself, I'll figure it out later. But here you are. Not by accident. Not by coincidence. You didn't click on this video randomly. You were led here. Because there is something I need you to hear. Something you've been avoiding for a long time. I have been watching you. Not in judgment. Not with disappointment. But with understanding deeper than you can even comprehend. I saw the moment you almost gave up. I saw the night you stayed awake, staring into nothing, pretending you were okay. I saw the weight you carry, the one you don't talk about. And I need you to know this. You are not as alone as you think you are. You say no one understands you. But I have been there in every silent tear, every hidden fear, every quiet breakdown you never showed the world. I was there. And I am still here. You keep asking for a sign. You keep waiting for something dramatic, something undeniable. But what if this is the sign? What if this moment, right now, is me speaking directly to you? You've been running. Running from your purpose. Running from your truth. Running from the calling you keep pretending you don't hear. But you hear it, don't you? That quiet voice inside you. The one that tells you there is more for your life than this. You try to ignore it. You bury it with distractions, with noise, with excuses. But it never leaves. Because I put it there. You were not created to live a small, comfortable, predictable life. You were not designed to settle for less than what I have prepared for you. There is something greater waiting for you. But you cannot reach it while holding on to what is keeping you stuck. Yes. I said it. You are stuck. Not because you are weak. Not because you are incapable. But because you are afraid. Afraid to fail. Afraid to lose. Afraid of what people will say. But the truth is, you are more afraid of stepping into your true potential than staying where you are. And that is what is holding you back. Listen carefully. You don't need more time. You don't need more approval. You don't need everything to be perfect. You need to move. Even if it's messy. Even if it's uncertain. Even if it scares you. Because growth was never meant to feel comfortable. You keep asking me to change your situation. But I am trying to change you. Because when you change, everything around you begins to change. You keep waiting for doors to open. But some doors only open when you take the first step. And I know. That step feels heavy. It feels impossible. But you are not walking alone. Every time you thought you couldn't go on, and you did. That was me strengthening you. Every time you felt like breaking, but you held together. That was me holding you. You are stronger than you realize. But strength isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward despite it. Let me ask you something. How long are you going to stay in the same place? How long are you going to keep repeating the same patterns? Making the same excuses? Living the same life that doesn't fulfill you? You say you want change. But change requires action. And action requires courage. So here is what I need you to do. Stop doubting yourself. Stop comparing your journey to others. Stop listening to the voices that tell you you're not enough. Because you are enough. Not someday. Not when you achieve something. Not when someone validates you. Right now. Exactly as you are. But that doesn't mean you stay where you are. You are meant to grow. To evolve. To rise. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. You will face resistance. You will have moments where you want to quit. But don't. Because on the other side of that struggle is the life you've been praying for. The peace you've been searching for. The clarity you've been desperate to feel. You are closer than you think. Much closer. But you have to trust me. Even when you don't understand. Even when it doesn't make sense. Even when the path ahead looks uncertain. Trust me. Because I see what you cannot see. I know what you do not know. And I am guiding you, even when you feel lost. So stop overthinking. Stop delaying. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. This is your moment. Right now. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not someday. Right now. Take the step. Make the decision. Choose to move forward. Because your life is not meant to be lived in hesitation. It is meant to be lived with purpose. And your purpose is waiting for you to finally say yes. So tell me, are you going to keep scrolling? Or are you finally ready to listen? You felt something just now, didn't you? A pause. A hesitation. A quiet moment where everything else faded, and it was just you and this voice. That's not coincidence. That's awareness. And awareness is where everything begins. Because the moment you become aware, you can no longer pretend you don't know. You can no longer go back to the same ignorance that kept you comfortable but stuck. And I know, part of you wants to go back. Back to distractions. Back to scrolling. Back to numbing the thoughts that make you uncomfortable. But another part of you, the real you, is tired of running. Tired of pretending. Tired of settling. Tired of feeling like life is passing by while you stand still. You feel it, don't you? That quiet frustration. That inner voice whispering. There has to be more than this. And you're right. There is more than this. But more requires a decision. Not a feeling. Not a wish. A decision. Because feelings change. Motivation fades. But a decision, a true decision, shifts everything. Right now, you are standing at a turning point. You may not see it. You may not fully understand it. But this moment, this exact moment, is a doorway. On one side is the life you've been living. Familiar. Predictable. Safe, but unfulfilling. On the other side is the life you've been imagining. The one you think about late at night. The one you feel deep in your chest. The one that excites you and terrifies you at the same time. And here's the truth you've been avoiding. You cannot have both. You cannot stay where you are and become who you're meant to be. Something has to change. Something has to be released. Maybe it's your habits. Maybe it's your environment. Maybe it's the people you keep around you. Or maybe it's the version of yourself you've outgrown. Yes. You've outgrown parts of your life. But you keep holding onto them because they feel familiar. Because they feel safe. But safety is not the same as purpose. Comfort is not the same as fulfillment. And deep down, you know that. That's why you feel restless. That's why you feel unsatisfied, even when things seem fine. Because fine is not what you were created for. You were created for more. More growth. More impact. More truth. But more requires letting go. And letting go is hard. Because it means stepping into the unknown. It means trusting without guarantees. It means moving forward without seeing the entire path. And that scares you. I know it does. But let me tell you something you need to hear. The path will not be revealed to you all at once. It never is. You are not meant to see the whole journey. Only the next step. And that step is already in front of you. You've been thinking about it. You've been feeling it. You've been avoiding it. But you know exactly what it is. That thing you keep putting off. That decision you keep delaying. That action you keep telling yourself you'll take later. There is no later. There is only now. And every time you delay, you are choosing to stay where you are. Not because you have to, but because you're choosing comfort over growth. And I didn't create you to stay comfortable. I created you to rise. To push past limits. To break patterns. To become someone even you don't recognize yet. But that version of you requires courage. Not perfection. Not certainty. Courage. The courage to try. The courage to fail. The courage to keep going when it would be easier to quit. And you have that courage inside you. You just haven't fully trusted it yet. But you will. Because little by little, step by step, You are waking up. You are becoming more aware, more intentional, more aligned with who you truly are. And once that process begins, it cannot be stopped. You cannot unknow what you now know. You cannot unfeel what you now feel. You are changing. Even if it's slow. Even if it's uncomfortable. It's happening. So don't fight it. Don't resist it. Lean into it. Because this transformation, this shift, is exactly what you've been asking for. You prayed for change. You asked for growth. You asked for clarity. And now it's happening. But it doesn't look the way you expected, does it? It feels uncertain. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like things are falling apart. But what if things are not falling apart? What if they are falling into place? What if the discomfort you feel is actually the breaking of old patterns? What if the confusion is the beginning of clarity? What if this moment, this exact moment, is the turning point you've been waiting for? Because it is. And you are closer than you think. Closer to peace. Closer to purpose. Closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. But you have to keep going. Even when it's hard. Even when it's unclear. Even when no one else understands your journey. Keep going. Because I am with you. In every step. In every doubt. In every moment you feel like giving up. I am there. Guiding you. Strengthening you. Preparing you. For everything that is coming next. So don't stop now. You've come too far to turn back. Too much has shifted inside you. Too much has been revealed. There is no going back to who you used to be. Only forward. Into who you are becoming. So take the step. Trust the process. And most importantly, trust me. Stay with me a little longer. Don't rush away from this moment. Because what you usually do is the same thing that's been keeping you stuck. You feel something real. And then you distract yourself. You hear truth. And then you scroll past it. Not this time. This time, stay. Because there is something deeper I need to show you. You keep looking at your life from the surface. What you have. What you don't have. What's working. What's not working. But I see something else. I see your patterns. The thoughts you repeat every day. The beliefs you carry without questioning. The stories you tell yourself about who you are. I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. It's too late for me. What if I fail? You say these things so often. They've started to feel like truth. But they are not truth. They are habits. And habits can be broken. Let me ask you something. Who told you that you're not enough? Was it one moment? One failure? One person's opinion? And you built your entire identity around that. You took a temporary experience and turned it into a permanent belief. That was never the plan for your life. You were never meant to be defined by your worst moment. You were never meant to stay stuck in a version of yourself that no longer fits. But to change that, you have to be willing to see yourself differently. Not as broken. Not as behind. Not as someone who missed their chance. But as someone who is still becoming. Still growing. Still evolving. Because your story is not finished. Not even close. And the chapter you are in right now is not the ending. It's the turning point. But turning points are uncomfortable. Because they require honesty. And honesty forces you to face things you've been avoiding. The habits you know are holding you back. The excuses you keep repeating. The comfort zones you refuse to leave. You already know what needs to change. This isn't new information. You've felt it for a long time. You've just been waiting. Waiting for the right time. Waiting to feel ready. Waiting for everything to align perfectly. But the truth is, you will never feel 100% ready. Clarity comes from action. Confidence comes from movement. Not the other way around. You don't wait to feel confident. You act, and confidence follows. You don't wait for clarity. You move, and clarity appears. That's how growth works. And that's why you've been feeling stuck. Because you've been waiting. Instead of moving. But listen carefully. You don't need a massive change right now. You don't need to fix everything overnight. You just need one step. One small, intentional, step forward. That's it. Because one step leads to another. And another leads to momentum. And momentum changes everything. Right now, your life feels heavy because you're carrying everything at once. All the pressure. All the expectations. All the what-ifs. But you were never meant to carry it all at once. Just take the next step. Not the whole staircase. Just the next step. And I will meet you there. I will guide you to the next one. And the next one after that. But you have to move. You have to choose. Because staying where you are is also a choice. And that choice has been costing you more than you realize. It's been costing you peace. It's been costing you growth. It's been costing you the life you keep imagining. So ask yourself honestly. How much longer are you willing to stay here? How much longer are you willing to repeat the same days? With the same thoughts. Leading to the same results. Because time is moving. Whether you act or not. Whether you change or not. Time is moving. And one day, you will look back at this moment. And you will either say, this is where everything changed. Or, this is where I stayed the same. And that choice is yours. Not anyone else's. Yours. So choose carefully. Choose growth over comfort. Choose truth over excuses. Choose action over fear. And when it feels hard, when doubt starts to creep in, remember this. You don't have to be perfect to move forward. You just have to be willing. Willing to try. Willing to fail. Willing to learn. Because every step you take, even the imperfect ones, are still steps forward. And forward is where your life begins to change. So don't stop now. You're not at the end. You're at the beginning. And everything you've been through, everything you've struggled with, everything you've questioned, has been preparing you for this moment. This decision. This shift. So stay with me. We're not finished yet. Not even close.